It happens in the blink of an eye. You are sitting in your favorite spot, settling in for the evening. The room is quiet, the television is humming, and you finally feel relaxed. You stand up for just a moment, maybe, to grab a glass of water or to check the lock on the front door. You are gone for 10 seconds. But when you return, your spot is gone. Taken. There, curled up in the exact center of the cushion, is your cat. They look up at you with those wide, innocent eyes. Or perhaps they close them tight, feigning a deep sleep, refusing to acknowledge your presence. To many of us, this moment feels like a battle. It feels like a silent power play. We look at that small, furry creature and we think, "You are doing this on purpose. You are testing me. You think you own this place." We sigh. We feel a flash of annoyance. And we either shove them aside or we surrender to the floor. But what if I told you that we are reading the script completely wrong? What if that act of theft wasn't about arrogance or dominance or control? What if, by taking that specific spot at that specific moment, your cat was trying to communicate something so profound, so biologically ingrained, that if you truly understood it, you wouldn't be annoyed, you would be touched? Today, we are going to decode the silent language of the seat thief. We are going to look past the myths and dive into the biology, the physics, and the psychology of why your cat wants your chair. And by the end of this video, you will never look at an empty seat the same way again. Before we dive into the mind of your feline, if you love uncovering the hidden secrets of animal behavior, please take a moment to click that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It helps us continue to tell these stories. Now, let's solve the mystery. To understand the thief, you first have to understand their fuel. As humans, we are comfortable in a room that sits around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That is our thermoneutral zone, the range where our bodies don't have to work hard to maintain our internal temperature. But cats? They are desert ancestors. Wrapped in fur, their thermoneutral zone is significantly higher, between 86 and 97 degrees. Think about that for a second. The room temperature that feels cozy to you actually feels slightly chilly to them. Their bodies are constantly burning calories just to stay warm enough. It is a low-level, constant energy drain that they live with every single day. Now, imagine looking at your living room through a thermal camera. When you stand up from your chair, you leave behind a concentrated pool of thermal energy. To you, it's just a seat. But to your cat, that glowing red cushion is a campfire in the middle of a snowy field. When your cat steals your seat, they aren't conquering a throne. They are engaging in survival efficiency. They are conserving their metabolic energy by harvesting yours. But if it were only about heat, your cat could sit on a radiator, or a laptop, or in a sunbeam. But often, they don't. They want this times chair. Specifically, the one you were just in. And this brings us to the second, more emotional layer of the mystery. The layer that humans almost always ignore. We live in a world of sight. We recognize our family by their faces. But your cat lives in a world of scent. A cat's sense of smell is 14 times stronger than yours. They don't just smell food or litter. They smell time. They smell emotion. They smell identity. When you sit in a chair for an hour, you are compressing your scent into the fabric. You are leaving a heavy, invisible imprint of who you are. To you, the chair is furniture. To your cat, that chair now smells intensely of time's safety asterisk. It smells of the provider. It smells of the giant who opens the cans and scratches the ears. In the wild, cats in a colony engage in something called allo-rubbing. They rub against each other to mingle their scents, creating a group scent. It is a chemical password that says, "You are family. You are safe. We are one." When your cat jumps into your warm, scent-filled seat, they are effectively trying to wear your perfume. They are bathing themselves in your scent. It is similar to a child putting on their parent's oversized coat when the parent leaves the room. It is comforting. It is a way to feel close to the attachment figure. So while you stand there thinking, "He's pushing me out," your cat is actually saying, "I want to be immersed in you." It is the highest form of flattery a feline can offer. However, there is often a darker reason for the seat theft, a reason born from anxiety and instinct, a reason that explains why they do it, mostly when the house is chaotic, or when guests are over, or when they feel unsure. Let's look at the geography of your room. Where is your favorite chair? Usually, our favorite chairs are positioned with a view of the room and the entryways. They have a backrest, a solid shield. Deep in your cat's DNA, the code of the mesopredator is written. A cat is a predator. Yes, they hunt mice. But in the grand scheme of nature, they are also time's prey. Asterisk. Coyotes, hawks, owls in nature, a cat is vulnerable. This means a cat can never fully relax unless they feel their back is covered and they have a high vantage point to spot incoming danger. The floor is the danger zone. The floor is exposed. When you leave the chair, you open up the most strategic fortress in the room. High ground, warmth, scent, camouflage. If your cat is anxious, stealing your seat is a panic response. They are seeking a secure base. In attachment psychology, a secure base is a haven of safety from which a child or a pet can explore the world. And this is where the tragedy of miscommunication happens. This is the moment where the bond often breaks. You return to the chair. You see the cat. You clap your hands. You say, "Get down," in a loud, commanding voice. Maybe you shove them. You do this because you have read somewhere that you need to be the alpha. You believe that if you let them stay, they win, and you lose. But here is the science you might be missing. Dominance theory is a myth. It was based on flawed studies of wolves, and it has absolutely zero application to cats. Cats are solitary hunters who live in matriarchal groups based on resources. They do not have alphas. They do not understand punishment. They do not understand, "I am the boss." When you yell, your cat doesn't think, "Oh, the boss wants the chair." Your cat thinks, "The giant, safe creature has suddenly become aggressive and unpredictable." If they hiss at you, it isn't aggression, it is defense. They have claimed a safe, warm spot. Now, they are being threatened. They are confused. Why would the source of safety attack them in the safe zone? You win the chair, but you lose the trust. The bond fractures, all because of a misunderstanding about a warm cushion. So, how do we fix this? How do we reclaim our seat without breaking their heart? We have to stop thinking like a primate and start negotiating like a feline. You cannot punish a biological need. If you punish your cat for seeking warmth and safety, you just create a neurotic, fearful animal. Instead, we must use the yes, no principle. If you want the no, which is "don't sit in my chair," you must provide a yes, a spot that is even better. This is where the sidecar technique comes in. Place a cat bed or a stool right next to your armchair. Elevate it so it is at the same height as your seat. Remember the criteria: warmth, scent, elevation, proximity. Put a heating pad in that bed. Take an old t-shirt you have worn and place it inside. When your cat walks in, they will calculate. Option A is the chair, high value, but occupied by the giant. Option B is the sidecar, high value, warm, smells like safety, and crucially, it is vacant. By doing this, you aren't pushing the cat away. You are pulling them in, but into their own parallel space. You are acknowledging their need to be near you, while respecting your own need to sit down. But we can go deeper. There is one more layer to this interaction that can turn a seat battle into a bonding ritual. Sometimes, your cat will still jump on your seat the moment you stand up because they are resource guarding *U*. They are intercepting your path to ensure interaction. When this happens, try this. Instead of getting mad, lean down, soften your eyes, blink slowly, close your eyes for a full second, then open them. This is the slow blink. In the feline world, a stare is a threat. A slow blink is a localized peace treaty. It says, "I am vulnerable to you. I trust you. When you blink, you de-escalate the tension. Then, use a treat or a toy to lure them off the chair and into their heated bed. Reward the movement. Do not punish the theft. You are teaching them. The chair is fine, but this bed is where the rewards happen. Over time, the neural pathways in your cat's brain rewrite themselves. The anxiety of, "Where do I belong?" vanishes. We must also pause for a critical reality check. There is a scenario where seat stealing isn't about love, warmth, or habit. It's about pain. Cats are masters of masking pain. If your cat suddenly becomes obsessed with soft surfaces, or refuses to lie on the floor, or hisses when you try to move them, it could be a sign of osteoarthritis. A soft, warm chair relieves pressure on aching joints. If this behavior is new, especially in an older cat, please do not consult a trainer. Consult a vet. They might be self-medicating their pain with your furniture. We spend so much time trying to train our pets to fit into our lives. We want them to stay off the counters, scratch only the post, and give up the chair when we walk in. But in our quest for obedience, we often miss the desperate attempts at connection. Your cat wasn't taking the chair to spite you. They were taking the chair because the world is big and loud and frightening. And in that chaos, the safest place in the universe was the spot that smelled like you. They were seeking the residue of your existence to feel safe. Because here is the truth we often forget. One day, that chair will be empty. One day, you will stand up, and no one will steal your spot. You will look at that cushion, perfectly smooth and cold, and you will give anything to see those golden eyes looking up at you, challenging you for the warmth. You will miss the inconvenience. So, the next time you find your seat taken, take a breath. Feel the warmth they are seeking. Acknowledge the compliment they are paying you. They aren't stealing your seat. They're saving your place. If you found value in this story, please hit the like button. It really helps us share this message with other pet owners. And tell us in the comments, does your cat steal your seat, and who usually wins the battle? We love reading your stories. Thanks for watching. And remember, respect the bond and understand the instinct.